Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome back to Dungeon Crawl, still version 11. Um, so I hope some of you have seen the recent win that I had with Gareth Den, or not with Gareth Den, with Bulgaron, uh, who was a Minotaur who basically got showered by every awesome gift you can get for being a Berserk Minotaur, including crystal plate armor. My AC was 63 at points at the end of the game. I was wearing a -5 AC hat so that I could get resist poison because otherwise I had no resistances. But yeah, it was a pretty cool run. Um, but this brings my total win count to 7 and kind of sort of 9 because Shinigami is on the cusp of an actual win, and I have a 20 hours on my Deep Elf Conjurer Omega, who could win the game very, very, very easily if he so desired. So yeah, so 7/9 wins. I also have a Zot Splat Vibrio who was on his way back up with the orb. So this is not, I have not just beaten the game once or twice. I've beaten the game a couple times now. But all of my wins have a very common trait, and that is that they take a long time. 8.5 hours, 9.5 hours seems to be the benchmark. After having read some posts by Sarabov Squire, so shout out and thank you, it occurs to me, one thing I have not attempted is a rapid play. Not a speed run necessarily, but a rapid run through the game. So that's what I'm going to try to do now. A Minotaur Berserker, where the goal is going to be to beat the game, not in the my typical 8.5 hours, but rather to beat it very quickly. We're going to try to beat it an hour faster than I typically would. To this end, I have not disabled the auto travel, the display of travel. I don't like when I just appear on site after traveling. I find that I get very disoriented and actually slows me down more to have to keep looking. But yeah, to this end, I've decided I'm just going to run some Minotaur Berserkers, and I should let you know up front, I do not anticipate this guy in specific is going to win the game at all, because I'm still trying to build the instinct, try to get used to how to play it at a higher speed in general. I'm also going to shift my pathway. See, before my later wins, when I was playing a Felid who gains experience at a very low rate, I actually beat the game at level 24, I believe. Ooh, cursed. What are we working with here? -3, -3. So yeah, we should get this off as fast as possible. Anyway. Yeah, so I was working with a Felid who gained slow experience, and as a result, I was quite accustomed to being a little bit lower level. Now, granted, being a Spriggan, being a Felid, I was mostly playing Summoner, and Summoners, their personal stats aren't as important. But nevertheless, beating Zot at, oh, I got held, which stopped my Berserk. Yeah, that's an easy death. I'm not actually even concerned that that guy died, seeing as to how I already had a cursed weapon. Let's try one more time. Beating Zod at level 24 tells me that I don't actually need the full level of experience that I otherwise would normally get by clearing out every branch and all that stuff. So I'm trying to think where I can cut corners from, and again, thanks to Sarabov Squire, he points out that you can deep dive, you could just dive through the swamp if you weren't too concerned about, your power level. If I could skip swamp altogether, come back for it later game, and then ignore the experience benefits of clearing the swamp by simply just, waltzing through it, that would actually be phenomenally faster, since the swamp is just one of the most slow and tedious branches to navigate. Same would go with the snake pit. Spider's Nest, I don't know. I wouldn't feel comfortable diving the Spider's Nest without control teleports up the yin yang, because that last floor with ghost moths and everything, it can go very bad very fast. You're doing okay, and suddenly you're surrounded by 12 Berserk enemies and a couple Emperor Spiders, while they're spamming Orbs of Destruction, albeit nerfed Orbs of Destruction, at every turn. Anyway. So, continuing on, we're walking, let's go ahead and blow off this poison. Eat. But another thing is just playing through stuff that can be played through quickly, feels like it would be a long-term skill that it feels like a long-term skill that I want to have. And it's something that would pay off in the long term. It's something that pays off in other runs. And, ooh, it looks like I failed to butcher the corpse altogether. It's something that would pay off in other runs, not just these ridiculous rapid runs. So that's the plan. That's a side benefit that I'm hoping to have. Ooh, very nice armor. And that's part of why I consider this an okay thing to try, even though strictly speaking it's kind of ludicrous, this particular goal of mine. One thing I've thought of is really scumming becomes kind of important when you're attempting a run like this seriously. If I start the game and immediately pick up an awesome axe, that's going to speed up the next 20 minutes of the game significantly. If, on the other hand, I get no good items for the first four floors, well, maybe I should consider just restarting and, you know, wait for a run where I do have at least one good item. I've had previous runs where I pick up plate mail, freaking dwarven plate mail on the first floor. I mean, that's an item that I don't normally expect till floor 5 usually, or later. And at times doesn't drop at all. Like, thus far, I think the highest level armor I've seen is ring mail in this particular run. Yeah. Trog is another obvious choice. He's, of all the deities, a Berserker requires the least micromanagement to play. Playing a spellcaster takes a lot more energy, a lot more aiming your spells, choosing when to Mephitic Cloud carefully. I'm obviously not going to be able to maintain this frenetic pace that I'm using right now for the entirety of the game, or even the entirety of this run probably. But that's part of what I want to do this for. Being able to proficiently run through the early game, but then instinctively knowing when you need to stop and drop and pay attention. Kind of valuable. Let's pick up the boots, get out of range, wear the boots, and then wait for the... there's 2 of them. That's a good excuse to berserk, actually. If there's 2 orc priests, I'm going to need the health maintenance. And the temporary hit points help a lot. I really don't like how if you use up Berserk and you take... I wish you lost all your temporary hit points first and then lost your actual hit points second, instead of the way it seems to be done, where they take the average of your health and divide it by your total, and that's what your final is. Imagine coming out of Berserk... Ooh! Swamp Dragon armor. That's a good find. And it's not even a hide. I can just straight up put it on. That's going to help with my AC significantly. That's going to help with everything. Okay, this is a legit find. Let's go ahead and turn on armor training and continue unarmed combat. Because the reason I'm buffing unarmed combat as much as I am, Trog isn't going to be concerned about what my weapon skill is until he's ready to give me gifts, so that's going to take a while. Unarmed combat buffs my horns, which means no matter what weapon branch I switch to, unarmed combat will be useful. So what I've effectively done by making that decision is left myself open to choosing and changing to any good weapon I happen to find as I go through the dungeon. And if I don't find anything that stands out to me, I will just, obviously just pick up an axe and just run with it. Because they all have halberds, and I don't want to deal with halberds, let's go ahead and sack all their corpses. Do I have food? I have plenty of food. I have enough food that I can afford to actually eat perma-food instead of worrying about corpses, and reserve all the corpses for Trog if I so desire. Actually, no, I only have 2 rations. Okay, so nix that idea. Next time I'm going to focus on eating only clean corpses, like kobolds, now that I can't be poisoned. And now that I'm hungry, I know to actually look for them. Not being able to get poisoned is actually fantastic. That's one of the biggest concerns of going into the lair for me, is that. We got an invisible orcish wizard. And I don't want to be without berserk ability, so let's eat. Okay, you know what? You're behind water. I'm not going to deal with you. Prince Ribbit. Berserk, definitely. Generally, I dislike berserking next to a blinking enemy or one that can easily get out of melee range. But in this situation, he was about to kill me, and I had a staircase, so 2 reasons to do it. Mencore is another reason to berserk, so let's eat off so that I can berserk, go downstairs, do exactly that, and nail Mencore. That allows me to finish eating up some wolf. And now I'm just down to my rations, so now I actually do care about conservation. Glowing Elven Trident. It's worth a wear. Let's cross-train polearms till it's at least equal to axes. As a rule, I would say polearms are a bad idea for this run, since polearms have the evocation ability, which is technically more useful, but also slower to have to channel. So I should really focus on only using it to catch fleeing enemies, which will still speed up my run. Really, though, when we talk about time loss, I think the biggest time loss source I have is all of the item micromanagement that I do. So if I just stop doing that alone, I should probably speed up my run significantly. Okay, Berserk. There's an Orcish warrior. There's a Smitey wizard. There's an actual wizard. They're all dead. They didn't leave anything to eat, which is unfortunate. I do see Orcish plate mail, which is a very tempting alternative to Swamp Dragon armor. I am going to continue wearing the Swamp Dragon armor for now, but let's go ahead and drop the stuff that I know I'm not going to use, the intermediate armors. Let's also test quaff random potions for a while. Anything that I have 2 of is good to try. Hell, anything I have 1 of. This is a speed run. I'm not going to take the time to do this properly later. And I got mutated, so sharpened nails and EV +2. I've noticed that some races have bad luck with mutations and some have good luck. Minotaur seem to be on the good luck side of things, so I have to bear that in mind for future runs, because I doubt that that's just luck. I'm sure it's part of the thing. F is probably my ident scroll, actually, so let's burn it again and make sure. D, E, S, drop S, read B. This is going to be a recharge most likely, but let's make sure it's not enchant. Oh, it's enchant. Good. Let's drop. Let's read. Let's read. Let's read. You know, I kind of want to get my blink scroll identified sooner rather than later. Okay. Ident game done. Let's move on. What's our time so far? So we're not even 10 minutes in, and already I'm level 8 almost, which is good. It's very good, actually. And this is actually a much better weapon than my current axe, so just on that grounds alone, I think I'm going to actually make the switch to polearms. That plus, you know, I do like polearms overall better than axes. An executioner's axe is nice for pure brutality, but just the utility of being able to get that one space reach is kind of valuable in many situations. Alright, and as much as I'm trying to speed things along, I do need to explore this floor upstairs as well, since I'm leaving out some critical experience and possibly critical items by not doing it. Ideally, I should have full or near full Trog Piety by the time I hit Lair, and doing this floor will help. See, right there, being able to stab that ogre while he approached me meant I didn't have to go berserk later on to guarantee my safety. Wand of Disintegration. Cool. Don't know when I picked it up, but I'm glad I have it. Let's go ahead and eat. And this is the best thing about playing a Minotaur, is how easy aiming is at times. Okay, that was unnecessary on my part. I should have been more careful. Also, just statistically speaking, one of the best early game weapons you can have is a spear or trident, because the ratio for its to hit bonus versus its penalty on thingy, its damage, is really good. Okay, where are my ident scrolls? Let's identify this ring and identify some potions. Definitely put on the Ring of Protection, because those things are awesome, and lose some of these other potions that are less awesome. Can't eat because there's too many magic users. But yeah, being able to just get the reaction attack on the Minotaur lets me play a lot faster too. Like things like bats and bugs normally would be... You know what, just go downstairs. That floor is almost completely cleared. No, you stabbed the wrong target, moron. And that white, I hope to God it didn't drain me. No, it just froze me. Thank God. I would carry the Dagger of Freezing since there's going to be situations in which it's more optimal to use, but that would require me to hang on to 2 weapons and switch them around situationally, and that's a lot of work. Protection from cold, on the other hand, is no work at all. And we have 5 bread rations, so let's eat this lemon. Ooh, that was a mistake. I needed to hang on to the lemon so that I have a quicker to eat food in case I ever find myself low on food. Let's start boosting intelligence for a couple levels now. My strength of 25 is enough to wear even crystal plate mail, and it's giving me about as much of a damage boost as I can hope for. Really, the concern I should have is that so the big problem with switching to polearms, if you start with the class Berserker, is that polearms, pretty much all the polearms actually, have a pretty heavy tilt towards dexterity rather than strength. But the Berserker, if you just take a quick look at my stats, it becomes obvious, cares way more about strength than anything else. So, you know, you find yourself in that situation where you need to things. Orcish Mines, it's not worth going into right now. As tempting as it is to just try and hurry, I really would do better to do the easier branch, so namely the lair first, especially since I'm wearing Swamp Dragon armor, which drastically reduces the threat posed by many of the denizens of the lair. And that same piece of armor actually makes me able to take on the classic challenge enemies. I've said it before and I'll say it again. If you intend to enter the lair, you need to be able to deal with spiny frogs and hydras. You don't necessarily need to be able to kill them, but that wouldn't hurt either. Just zap him. You might think that was a waste of a charge, and technically speaking it was, but let's be honest. You've seen me in previous runs hanging on to literally tens of wands and only ever using a heal wand and a teleport wand. Not even the haste wand, which I usually hang on to with the same religiosity. What chance do the early game wands, except maybe Wand of Digging, have in any extended run? Not really that much for getting used, so using them now to catch a fleeing enemy is perfectly sensible. We're going to go ahead and use Trog's Hand as well as Berserk to fight this group. Oh my god, it was a Felid. I haven't seen Felids in the dungeon before. Yeah. The way I figure it is, between the reaction attack and the Berserk, I would have had enough health, and I was in fact correct in my judgments. Let's just sack everything that isn't poisoned. No, okay, I need to eat at least 1 corpse. Okay, so far so good, Continue clearing dungeon. I'm just really happy that I picked up the Swamp Dragon armor. That, you know how I mentioned it, if you just have 1 or 2 really nice item drops early on, that increases your odds of a successful speed run, rapid run? I picked mine up with that armor. Unarmed combat is at 9, so we're gonna let that fall by the wayside while instead we pick up fighting, because health is gonna be critical to make up for the mistakes I will make for going too fast. And, you know, obviously it's a key stat, so there's that too. Again, bear in mind that one of the big reasons that I take long on other runs is micromanagement, so that's what I'm trying to limit here. Not eliminate, limit. This is crawl. You have to micromanage to a point. Wait, why didn't I pick all of that stuff up? Don't know why it's travel excluded, don't really care. Let's pick up the apricots and the jellies and they'll get out. Okay, good. Probably the steam was considered problematic. Couldn't tell you why, I always consider steam problematic. Okay, down we go. Now down we go. Okay, so far so good. Just, I knew I had disabled auto pickup at some point earlier, and I wanted to make sure it was still on. Wand of Paralysis. Oh, pain! That actually did a lot more damage than it looks like, because it not only hit me, it also hit my food stores. And for a second there, I thought I was going to have to use Curing, just because if he finished eating that thing before I did, he'd get the experience and not me, which would be tragic since you get a lot of experience from them, from the fungal colonies, but there was only one. Single hallway, gentlemen. No need to make this easy for you. 92, 95. Okay, good. So I wasn't getting drained, and if I was, it wasn't very much. Sack, sack, sack. Okay, there's the lair of beasts. Can I take on an elephant straight up? Yes, I can. Let's berserk so that I don't have to, but yes, I can. Elephant slug needs to go down as well. Okay. Technically, probably could have gotten by there without berserking, but you know what? I have enough food to do it, and it would have taken some clever kiting, and of course would be putting myself at risk of a critical. Not that this game actually does criticals, but the equivalent of a critical hit. So it was worth it. Once I get polearms up to 16, I have been led to understand that that should handle me for everything short of bardiches. So I will stop leveling it at that point. Technically, I don't actually need to level it right now, but whatever. Let's finish clearing this floor completely, since Dungeon Floor 9 is still a little bit early to be entering the lair. Not that I'm not going to do it, just it is a little bit early. Okay, in we go. Lair time. And of course, if I feel like I'm getting overwhelmed, I'll back off. So yeah, I don't know if I've already mentioned this or not, but one of the things I picked up from Serabov Squire is that since the swamp, for me at least, is mechanically a very slow branch. Oh my lord, that thing was hitting me a lot harder than I thought it was. Okay, since the swamp is mechanically speaking a hard branch, there's all this smoke plumes that are blocking your vision every which way you go and all that stuff. Oh man, I got turned to stone. This thing stoned me, man. But yeah, since the swamp is a mechanically difficult branch with auto travel constantly being disabled and lots of partial drops and back and forth if you rely on auto travel as much as I do, instead of going that route of doing the swamp, I'm gonna not do the swamp at all if it's offered, and then come back for it much later when I can potentially just ignore the branch and deep dive with relative safety. Oh, come on, come at me, bro. I need the corpse. I'm not even going to pick that up. It's not worth considering. Okay, this is actually a really bad situation. And it shall be dealt with accordingly. Stab past the goldfish so that I ignore the electric shots as much as possible. And now that I can't stab past them, I just stab them. Okay, they're all dead, they're all sacked, and I eat cheese. River End. Stab the snail to death. Okay, how am I doing for time? 20-minute lair. 20 minutes I got into the lair. If I can beat the lair in under an hour, I'll be doing fantastic for, not speed running, yeah. One thing I should have mentioned before and I didn't is when you choose to speed run anything, it's very important to define your terms. What is it that you're running through? What is a win considered? You know, what is the minimum you need to do in order to be considered a win, etc. In the case of Crawl, there's more than one kind of speed run. There's a minimum turn run, and then there's a minimum time run. Obviously, well, I guess it should be obvious, but, you know, I should state it. I am going for a minimum time run here, because minimum turn run is a tactical type of... You know what? You guys win. I'm not exploring this area anymore. I don't even care. I'm just going to mark it all as travel excluded, and we can do the rest of this map. There's no rule that says I have to explore everything. I want to split that. Anyway, I feel like if you want to do a... Oh, can I kill him? Yes, I can kill him. If you want to do a... If you want to do a time-limited run, and then you go back to playing your ordinary crawl, you will potentially have some benefit as a result. If you're going for a turn-limited run, you're not going to have as much benefit because, let's be real here, that's not... the number of turns you spend doesn't really affect the way you play. The number of turns you spend doesn't win or lose you games in ordinary crawl, and it does affect the way you play significantly if you're trying to minimize it. So all of the skills you build up there aren't really going to help you as much. But this, the ability to make decisions, snap decisions quickly and correctly, well, to me that seems like much more useful. And since I have poison resist, I can just stay here and let my horns finish them off. So that's part of the logic behind doing this. If I can shave a couple hours, an hour or two off my time, that'd be nice. Alright. Eat, sack, explore. Those green rats were probably supposed to be significantly more problematic than they were. Once I finish the lair, I'm going to do another search through the dungeon to see what armors I've forgotten to get. That Mamba and the Spike Frog together are actually a considerable threat, so I'm definitely going to Berserk for them. And the reason I intentionally positioned myself to be surrounded by rats while I did it is my armor will hold them off quite comfortably, and my reaction blows might have killed them while I was berserking. And sure enough, several of them were wounded or died without me ever having to stab them. Okay, Fire Drake, totally different story. I definitely want to get in melee range to limit the number of scrolls I lose, and then sack them. Speaking of scrolls I lose, let's drop all of the pertinent enchant scrolls so that they can be recovered later when I have a weapon worthy of them. This may be a recharge scroll, so let's figure that out. Wand of Fire is definitely worth recharging. Vorpalize. Actually, Vorpalizing this was exactly what I would want, because I'm never going to want the Vorpal brand for when I get an actual good artifact or enchanted weapon. But it's useful now. No! Okay, well, I found Cure Mutation, and at the cost of all my good mutations. Mercifully, I didn't have any really good mutations, just a few nice +1s. So onward we go. I picked up another scroll of enchant or weapon and dropped it. Seeing that Fire Drake made me nervous. If he had burned through a bunch of scrolls of enchant, I would have been really upset. And as it is, still no blink scrolls, but I do have a fair amount of potions of heal, and oh no, I'm being petrified. Okay, Polearms is up to 11. It's good enough for now. We'll change it back. We'll turn it back on later. For now, let's focus fightings and armor, prioritizing. Actually, let's turn on dodging, and keep slow burning fighting. Now, you might ask yourself, what's the point of picking up dodging if all you're gonna do is wear the heaviest armor you can anyway? And the answer is every little bit of evade helps. Even with the evade, and you might, and yes, sure, I have the evade penalty, but can you imagine how much worse it would be if I had no evasion? Also, I'm a Minotaur. I'm not a spellcaster. It's not like I have 20 different schools that are competing for my attention, and I need to devote some experience to each of them. I have 4 key schools, maybe 5, and that's it. Traps and doors, and now that I found out that the weapon max out for polearms is significantly lower than I initially assumed, all the more reason to not even bother. To not hesitate in training up my alternate skills. Okay, quick. Another goddamn dragon. Definitely worth of berserk. The reason I'm berserking all the dragons is I have the food. I can totally afford it, and I don't want to lose scrolls to them. And this guy proves that that's exactly what can happen. What scrolls are worth saving? All of the teleport scrolls, immediately. Remove curse is worth saving. Identify is worth saving. Now we'll just wait out the glowy, fiery stuff and pick them all back up. Okay, yeah, I figured I could take him on without berserking, and given just how in the unknown I am, I'm not comfortable being berserked. Damn it! He's back! Disintegration is definitely appropriate. Okay, he's dead. Okay, these Komodo dragons, for the record, I don't remember them dealing this much damage, so I need to remember that from now on. Let's see if I can't paralyze him. Good, I can. Then he's just dead. And let's just quaff a cure. No, I don't have that many curings to waste. Let's just heal up the slow way. I do need Trog to start gifting me some weapons so that I can get on with getting that uber weapon. So let's go ahead and start burning through my food stock in favor of giving him all the corpses to raise my piety even faster. I have a new wand that needs identification. I have a couple new wands that need identification. That's 1. That's 2. Okay, and that's me. Find a nice choke point, and then we'll take them on as they come. Oh, that was it? Okay, because of the risk of turning to stone, I'm gonna go ahead and raise my magic resist. And I'm gonna hold true to my original plan of burning through rations and such, in favor of mass sacrifices to Trog. So let's go ahead and burn everything. Die, motherfucker, yeah. There's the first Trog gift. It's a longbow. We'll wield it just long enough to know that it's worthless, and then put it away. Actually, I don't have anything quivered, so I'm going to quiver my old hand axe. At least give me something to hurl at enemies. Though really, I'm going to be using wands more than anything else for that purpose. Another sack. Whoa, 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 what was all that stuff? Okay, I have no way of reaching it, I guess. Down we go. If I had had a pair of potions of levitation, it'd be worth picking all that booty up. At least I think it would. Iron wand. Another... oh, that was a random effect. It's not a fireball. Okay, fair enough. A lot of these wands are droppable, but if I spend time micromanaging all of my pickups and drop-offs, well, frankly, that's where much of my time goes as it is anyway. Do I need to berserk or not? I'm going to say yes, just so there's no risk and no regret. And then we'll eat all of it. Are you serious? It went bad that fast? Damn. Okay, eat another bread ration. Lord knows we got plenty spare. Once I'm down to 1 and 1, then I'll be concerned. Let's blast him with fire wand, actually. I only have 1, right? Yeah, so fire should do fine. Soften him up. And then just take him out. Dex. Definitely Dex, since we're going polearms. I will become stronger naturally just by being a Minotaur, and we'll keep sacking stuff to Trog. At this point, my Trog piety may or may not be maxed, but it's even if it's not maxed, it's definitely close. So I anticipate getting better and better gifts. You know what? What do I have that can catch him? Let's use random effect. Cold, mist. Corpse sacking, corpse sacking. Stab, stab, stab. Stab, 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 stab. Okay. How are we doing for time? Half hour mark. We're not quite at the 1 hour lair, which is what I'm hoping for. But we're getting there. We're getting there. Actually, we're halfway through the lair, so we may very well actually hit that mark. Okay. How's my evade coming along? Very nicely. Good. Down a floor. Let's just move directly into the middle of them and start stabbing them all. Okay, and that's where tab actually came in handy. What's that? 9 gold pieces under a plant is not worth killing a plant. It'll take so long. Okay. I have in fact found the swamp, which means I will have at least one sort of easy rune to deal with. And would definitely just want to stab the fire drake to death as fast as possible. And the presence of a spider here raises my suspicion for the spider pit being the second spot, but I don't know. It is in fact a hole to the spider pit. Good, spider nest. Okay, so that's what we got. We've got spider nest and swamp, both of which are good branches for a resist poison like me. The spider nest itself, a little bit more terrifying to try and deep dive like blindly, but something I can eventually do for no problem. Stab you to death. I'm being attacked. When did that happen? Okay. Ice pit with no resist cold. Any potions worth saving. Let's drop 2 heal wounds, all of the curing, and speed. Well, no, keep 2 of the speeds. Drop restore abilities, drop agility, drop invisibility. Okay. We're not actually going to beat the whole thing. We're just going to see if there's any easy experience to pick up in the doorway. And wouldn't you know it, there is easy experience to pick up in the doorway. Simulacra of wolves. Okay. So far so good. And now there's a herd of ice bears, which is, again, good news. Let's actually berserk these guys down. The reaction attacks will keep me safe if I end up against an impish horde, and yeah. Definitely want to eat... Oh, beautiful, I have leftover Edgate snail. Makes berserk all the more viable if you have extra food to back it up. Do I still have chunks? No, the chunks are gone now. Okay. Just go ahead and stab these guys. Try and get them to a choke point. Okay, you know what? Quaff the resistance potion. Just do it. Because otherwise it's just going to get broken anyway. And right now it's giving me the massive resistance. And hell, let's quaff everything else except the Berserk Rage. I don't know why I bothered bringing stuff in without planning to use it right away. Bread ration for sure. Berserk for sure. And while berserked and I have the extra health, being at melee range with a lot of them makes sense so that I horned them all. But now that I'm not berserked, recover makes sense. Okay, found a cache, found plate armor, saber, nothing of note, not even going to remove the plate armor. We're going to call an ally of Trog here. Firstly, because the first ally of Trog generally I've noticed isn't that good compared to the second that you get. So let's burn off the lousy one early. Secondly, because, well, that was a lot of enemies, and he actually didn't last very long, but he did help by distracting them, so that's something. Okay, that's all of them. Let's check the other direction first. Oh god, that was painful. Okay, we're just going to ignore the ice statue that we can't do anything about and go the other way. Oh, it's registering that as unexplorable because there used to be a simulacra ice cloud there. No ice statue here. Let's open the door carefully. Extra wand, both of which are likely to be very valuable, so let's figure out what they are. Wand of Frost, and possibly Wand of Cold? Wand of Cold. Excellent. Let's get out of here now. Actually, can I take on the statue? It's an ice statue. May or may not be vulnerable to, disintegration. Fuck it, I'm not gonna risk it. I've already burned all of my potions here, so... Let's pick up the remainder of my potions and move on. Sheep! And here I was worrying about what I would do for food. Well, let's just kill a quokka, actually. And just burn the rest. I'm a big believer in not sacking tons of corpses. What is this? Snake pit? Snake, spider, swamp. I'm very pleased. I thought that there was like a guarantee you always get the slime or the shoals, but apparently you can do a run without getting the slime pit now. That's a much better system. Okay, we're still waiting on the ultimate trident, or polearm, in order to enchant it awesomely. And we're still doing just fine with our current polearm, so there's no need to get in a twist. Let's go ahead and turn on armor as well as fighting. I will have to bring up unarmed combat further later, but not just now. Oh, that's a lindworm. definitely merits early fighting. I'm in a bad situation. It's time to berserk and kill everything to fix that problem. Okay, there we go. 2 berserk to butcher, not now. Butcher, 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 butcher. Eat, nothing to eat. Okay, fine, fair enough. Off we go. Stab him in the face. Switch back to main weapon. Stab, 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 stab. Yeah, I totally used the tabbing there. So I should have said tab, tab, tab instead of stab, stab, stab. Okay, time-wise, 37 minutes, layer 7, not quite complete yet. Easily killable, but let's let him come to us so that we can get a free stab or 2 in. And then hurl the axe at him and then zap him with frost. Using the lower tier stuff so that I can throw away the wand eventually. Are you kidding me? None of those blasts did him in? Whatever. Test quaff, strong poison. It's a good thing I'm wearing swamp dragon armor. Komodo dragons, you know, I figured out why they're so painful is because they make you sick. So you're not regenerating at all while you're being attacked. No, that doesn't explain it. Never mind. For a second I thought I was onto it. Okay, do I have anything to eat? No, nothing that I don't want to give up. And wait, that's the slime pit. Now I am confused. Are there 4 lair branches? Spider, snake, swamp, slime. All 4? Well, that's just fantastic. I didn't know that was a thing. I thought that they guarantee they only give you a few of them each time. But here I'm looking at it in the face. I have all 4 available. This is going to simplify the run greatly. I will still probably actually end up running the vaults, though, in all fairness. Just because it's an easier 3rd rune. Well, actually, no. Swamp, snake, spider. Those 3 runes are perfect. But I'm going to need the experience from vaults 1 through 7. Or am I? I don't actually even know. What is this? Is it just a dark tunnel, eh? Oh, this is like a volcano equivalent. You know what? I don't feel like losing all my scrolls. I'm just getting out of here. Yeah, just get me out of here. That was a bad idea. Just get me Scrolls of teleport are kind of like the most valuable thing in the entire game to me. Except maybe scrolls of blinking, and that also depends on situation. Like in some of the most dangerous places in the games are the ones that don't let you control your teleports and blinks. And in those areas, the blink scroll isn't nearly as helpful as the teleport. Come on, dudes. You're not gonna win this. Just let me win already. There you go. You're dead. I'm hungry. Let's eat. Yaks are no big deal. Death yaks, probably I can take on 1 at a time with no difficulty. Which means I'm ready for the final floor. Come on. Okay, that's this floor. Where's the water moccasin? One of you is going to leave me a corpse that I'm going to eat. I'm going to try to paralyze him on his way out, maybe. That will work. Got him. Boom! It's amazing how easy it is to hit a paralyzed target with a spear. Not really. Okay, final floor. Do I have magic mapping? No. Well, who cares? This looks like one of the floors that has a central pool of water with several electric eels in it. This is definitely a good time to berserk while I still have enough health to make it worthwhile, because there's no guarantee that will remain the case. Let's burn all of these corpses immediately. Well, actually, okay, it looks like I've managed to get them all to back off, so let's just heal up upstairs and try a different door, because that one's very close to the pool of water. And won't you know it, it's more dogs. Let's take these 2 upstairs. I don't want to fight and be surrounded again and have to berserk again. Oh, you're back. Berserk, because it's a Hydra, and I don't want to take any chances. Really, Hydras aren't worthy of Berserk at this point, but whatever. He's back again. Okay. Focusing the Spiny Frog first, since he's the harder to escape from. And kill the snail, and continue to impale, and that's a lot of giant frogs. I'm actually going to Berserk for them now. Just want to make sure that I would be able to kill them all in the same Berserk run. Oh my god, where'd you come from? And how are you keeping up with me? Boy. Do I have speed? I do. Let's go ahead and use that to put some distance. I don't like this position. Not being able to... The other thing is, consumables are really a use them or lose them type of deal. If you don't take advantage of them, eventually you'll just lose them all due to a few lack of preservation accidents. Or you'll hit a point in the game where you no longer need them and they're useless to you. Stab you all. Let's get out of the way of the electric eel discharges, please. And of course, since I've mastered polearms, he gives me an executioner's axe. A freezing executioner's axe. That is actually a very nice weapon, since freezing scales on your base damage or max damage or whatever. But it's useless to me since I'm not going to be training 27 levels of axes at this point. Okay, the game's gonna force me to go with manual searching since I don't want to approach the pool of water. So let's do that. Remember, there's at least one herd of death yaks virtually guaranteed on every bottom floor, and I still haven't fought mine yet. You know what? Fine. I'll kill this one instead. That one got lucky. Happened to start retreating instead of one-hit kill. He's back for another stab in the face with a pitchfork. Or trident. Explore, explore, stab, burn, explore, explore. Doing a significantly better job avoiding the mid-map. By luck or by intent, I do not know. Let's make sure that only one vampire mosquito can hit me at a time. Just in case there's more than one, which I suspect there probably is. Actually, you know what? I can't afford to leave these behind now. I'll just drop them if there's a risk of burning, but my plan was to get a good weapon by the time I got here and then enchant it all the way back up. Okay, Spiny Frog is dead. Okay, that Hydra, let's make sure we got a good position on it. Where'd it go? Did it get stuck behind the elephant slug, maybe? Damn, it's right there. Berserk. Stab, kill, burn. Okay, there we go. That's the Frog Brigade. And if I stand right here for as long as possible, I'll only have to fight one at a time. And that will be great. I'm gonna wait until my health hits... Well, fuck it. Let's just do it now. And rely on the kills to maintain the Berserk status as long as possible. Sure enough, lasted me through all of them. Heal, complete. Pick up this. War Dogs, go figure. This is not a bad position to be standing in right now, actually, since War Dogs don't really terrify me that much. But I do need to make sure that these guys start dying before I do. Okay, that's all of them. Let's get away from the electric eel. And heal, and you know what? Just eat anything, I don't care what. Not being able to berserk when I'm at low health is just not an option. let's deal with those eels now. Go figure they're not here. And all the corpses that I did not get around to sacking rotted while I was healing. No biggie. I'm still waiting on a good Trog gifted weapon. I know I'll get one eventually, just gotta get one eventually. Random effects blast. It's a good thing I picked up this ruined sucker. Where's the giant frog? I don't even see it. It's hitting a plant. There it is. It's camouflaged. And not in-game camouflage, out-of-game. Damn it! Why does there have to be two of you? Okay, I'm getting double zapped now, so it's actually very important to kill them quickly. I'm berserking very freely at this point because berserk doesn't actually cost me very much, just food, and food I don't need because I have lots. There's the death yaks. I was wondering where they were. Where's your little buddies, by the way, dude? I only see one of you. There are your buddies, several of them. I don't want him to get away. I actually really don't want him to get away. Let's try and hit him with fire on the way out. Damn it, he got away. Berserk. Stab him as he flees. He escapes. Okay, one down. Hopefully this Cocodrillo dies. And okay, we're gonna totally just pounce on this since he's alone. And Berserk. That should be enough to take out both of them. And we're gonna sack them definitely, actually. They're worth more. They're more likely going to give me piety since they're so high hit dice. Let's eat the Choco and the Rambutan so as to clear out the couple inventory slots, since I suspect that will become relevant eventually. Should have eaten that snake. Okay, approach the middle island. Curse weapon, elven cloak, leather armor. Wear the elven cloak without question. We'll test it, but I'm not gonna like this. Oh my god, it was cursed too, wasn't it? And it's -5, so it's actually a net loss to my AC of a lot. Yeah, I could have gone from... Just not worth it. No, I don't even need to discuss why a -5 armor is not worth it. Okay, but that should about do it for, Let's go ahead and eat this sucker. Because I am gonna have to wait out his nausea. Okay. And that should about do it. That's the lair cleared. Total time, 49 minutes, 12 seconds. Damn, am I good. Let's go ahead and pick up all of the enchant weapons and make our way out of here. That's why I only ate a couple of grapes. I know I'm going to be encountering enemies the whole way back. The respawns. There's another one. Of course, they have to leave corpses for me to make good on it. Okay, and out of the lair, let's go ahead and drop all of the enchant scrolls that I'm saving right here so that they're all ready for me when I come back. We'll save a bread ration for later. Always keep one potion of restore abilities somewhere in the dungeon, and, you know, just in case. Let's dump the Wand of Random Effects, the overused Wand of Paralysis, and the Wand of Frost. Also, let's do an armor search for whatever I'm missing slot-wise. So, feet, I guess helmet, and gloves, and I'm wearing boots. Okay. The next step would be to continue the dungeon, so let's do that. And do I have restore abilities to burn? Good. Let's get that dex back. Thank you, God. One of them is going to leave an eatable corpse. Okay, I meant that, like, exaggeratedly. I didn't think it would be almost literal. Just one of them left a corpse, but whatever. Somehow I went to full. I must have accidentally eaten a ration or something, or a perma food instead of the gecko flesh. Whatever, no big deal. It's a broad axe. Okay, is my axe skill actually very high or something? No. Trog's just fucking with me is what he's doing. Drop dodging, focus polearms more, and we'll slow burn everything else just like it is. That's fine. Okay, I'm being electrocuted. That's why I'm losing so much health, and that's why I'm gonna berserk. War Axe of Electrocution. Damn, that's painful stuff. That right there was all due to my reaction attacks for the amount of damage I dealt so quickly. Which means I should make sure unarmed combat gets crept up eventually, but for now I really want to get my weapons squared away. It hasn't been. But I would say that thus far this has been a very successful rapid run, and I've really just done two things. I've cut out a lot of the fat in terms of, the padding in terms of how much time I take agonizing over small decisions. And I say small because in the end... Oh, crap. Just cure out of that. And you know what? Let's put on some MR to regen. The reason I'm hesitant to go Berserk is because if you're confused while Berserked, it's a waste of a Berserk, and it's just very painful around. Bracers of Archery. Okay. Well, it's a glove, that's for sure. Fungal colony cleared. Quokka corpse sacked. Plenty of food to spare. Is the necrophage shooting arrows at me? Didn't realize they were capable of intelligent tool use. Of course, in their scenario, their melee attack is what's really dangerous, so I guess it's unintelligent tool use. Ha ha ha. Okay. I really want the slime dead first, and I can worry about the ogre on my own time. Next best place to go would probably be the Orcish Mines. Actually, there's no maybe. It's definitely the best place to go. I'm looking, after all, for an excuse to spend money. The Orcish Mines would provide me one. And may provide me a good weapon, or some nice piece of armor, or something which will help keep me alive everywhere else. I still have no resistances, save poison. Well, actually, I have a ring of cold resist I'm wearing too, so yeah, there's that. The thing I hate about slimes being on a floor is if you don't find them and kill them, they just keep growing in number until eventually they've taken the entire floor over. And then you gotta pray that you don't get corroded to oblivion. That War Axe of Electrocution has been picked up by 3 enemies already. It's a pity I don't want it, or I'd be carrying it myself. Enchant armor, huh? There you are, at least one of you. And if there's one of you here, I strongly suspect the other is nearby, so let's search this area real quick. Nope, nothing. Okay. Exploration done. Off to the Orcish Mines. That's the next logical spot. If I'm very hungry, I need to be able to berserk, so let's eat an apricot. And return to the Orcish Mines. In we go. Okay, that's a fairly straightforward start. Okay, Gastronok is not fairly straightforward, so we're going to go ahead and turn on Trog's regeneration plus magic resist, and then start one-shotting these fuckers. Focus on the smiting and the magicians first, since both of them are capable of dealing significantly more damage, significantly harder to resist. Get in melee with Gastronok and take him out. And who's left? That's it. Okay, Duvessa and Duane are not targets I care to fight when I'm nearly starving and slowed. I hate to leave behind all those good corpses, but I don't really have a choice, do I? Okay, no longer exhausted, and they are still sackable, thank God. kill the mage first, because I'd take my Berserk status over Duvessa's any day. They're both dead. I'm seeing a lot. This artifact hat, the Hat of Pondering, is really nice, but it makes me ponderous, since ponderous is slow, and slow is risky, and risky is not worth it. And there it is. I got a god gift and I didn't actually notice. The Runed Halberd. Let's see what kind of rune status I have. Anti-magic. I'll be real with you, that's kind of lame, and I don't care for it very much. At the same time, it is a good brand. Certainly a top-ranked anti-magic weapon can be used to win the game. So, it's not like this is unquestionably bad or anything like that. I can totally make use of this later. So, we'll see. I'll hang on to it for now, hold out for something better, and if nothing comes along in a while, I'll just give up. And accept that this is the polearm I'm going to be using for the rest of the game. Definitely a situation where berserking would be nice, so let's go back up and eat an apricot. Berserk! And whatever you do, do not leave the staircase. Notice that I am absolutely not paying attention to the lower HP or hit dice targets. The orcs are literally killing themselves. So my focus is the higher risk, higher reward targets. The mages, the named uniques, the wargs, and then of course, lowest priority. Sack one corpse, please. Eat it. I'm actually pretty sure that, yeah. Sack all the corpses. They're gone. Eat. Okay. Two ways down, so let's start with one, then try the other. Another god gift, so the good news is he is gifting them kind of fast. That's a glaive. Glaives are nice. An anti-magic glaive is, it's not a halberd. Is it better or worse than a bardiche, actually? Minus 315 versus minus 313, so it's strictly better than a halberd. But this is caused to actually focus on getting the training up with it, so let's ditch armor, I guess. No. Yeah, which one's higher? Let's ditch both for the, let's ditch fighting since it's the already higher level, and focus the other. Okay, so far so good. This one is clear. Try this one. Clear it. Sack. So really, that's what it's coming down to now. Is this I'm shaving time by rapid decision making and by not being anal retentive. Burning consumables a little bit faster rather than trying to conserve every consumable, even at the cost of 10 to 20 turns. And it's definitely paying off, because this has been one of the fastest times I've ever had to get this far. Alright, sack, 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 sack. And that one's clear. No new god gifts that I've somehow missed. Back in we go, back in we go. There's another down staircase, be my guest. Oh, don't you know it, they repopulated with new orcs. Oh, I'm still nauseous, okay, fair enough. New down staircase. This is Orc 4, so I'm going to have to remember to play it smart and safe and slow, since this is a significantly stronger segment of the orcs than their stronghold elsewhere. Okay, I just got confused, and it's worth curing out of, so I'm just going to cure out of it. Okay, that's all of them down. Orcish Hammer of Holy Wrath, whatever. Just sack a lot of them. Okay, apparently I need to butcher one for the Makan. Makan being Malay for food. Oh no! I didn't mean to go up this staircase. The auto walk took me here. I'm gonna drag the nearest group of orcs down with me, so that I don't have to berserk necessarily, and just let them just end their lives on me. We'll go up the other staircase to regenerate, and then we'll come back. But now that I know about that area, I'm not that scared of it. I'll definitely just go up there again. Eat an orange. Okay, so apart from the Orcish Knight, nothing here is truly terrifying. So let's wait a couple turns so that it gets close enough that I can hit it, and then we'll just nail it. Focusing high hit dice targets first, since reaction attack will kill orcs, and then, of course, when there's nothing else to hit what's left. You may notice that my mana is bouncing up and down. For those of you who do not remember, I picked up a while ago. I picked up the thingy, the Amulet of the Guardian Spirit, and that's what's doing that. Shine Magic Battle Axe. Thank you very much, but I'll stick with my glaive and drop the other glaive that I don't... I'm going to drop some of this stuff right here. Technically, one of the worst places to drop materials is in the Orcish mines, since orcs are smart enough to actually pick it up and use them against you. But that's a technicality. In practice, I'm not concerned about the orcs wielding these anti-magic weapons, which don't really do much to me. I'm not actually even going to heal out of confusion, seeing as to how it's just one wizard left. And barring burning some of my scrolls, he can't really do anything to me. Okay. Down we go again. Oh, are you mimicking money? Cruel, unfeeling bastards that you are. That sorcerer is going to be a problem. Let's drag him as close to the staircase as possible, so that when I come back down, I can, like, beat the crap out of him. Eat a grape. Go back upstairs. Sack whatever's sackable. I have to remember to actually eat one of these now. And now he's close enough to just kill. Straight up. I don't know if he actually managed to drain me or not. I think he probably failed though. I hope he failed, but I wasn't paying enough attention to know. This is a lot of orc wizards right now. I'm going to go ahead and berserk and pray to God none of them get off a successful confuse, since I went with magic resist first. And then I'm going to run for the staircase since there's an orc's sorcerer. And eat a bread ration since I'm progressively running out of food, power, thing. Berserk, kill all of the magey types. Okay, correction, just get the fuck out since you're being surrounded by higher level summons, including fiends, for God's sakes. Or that's not a fiend, it's just a... I don't actually know what it was. Ice something or the other. Time. 1 hour, 5 minutes. Slightly after when I would have liked to have been cleared with the lair. So that's... we're doing just peachy. I'm damned if I do, damned if I don't. I'm gonna have to fight this guy, the Blue Devil, regardless, so might as well do it while I'm also able to get the sorcerer out of the way. And we'll take out these zombies, no question, and the wizards while he's opening himself to me. Because wizards can individually not do much to me at this point in the game, but as a group they can slow and confuse me, so debilitating status effects while I'm trying to deal with other more serious orcish threats. Also, you know, I do not have any fire resistance, so over time, a couple fireballs, or not fireballs, fire attacks will begin to really chip at me. But I've already cleared out some of the more dangerous of the things that are here, so let's take out the less dangerous stuff now. Definitely going to use the if they can't see me, they don't attack me trick to get out of some of the summoner's wrath. Let's see what the general store has to offer. Ring of Dex +3 with ice and fire in opposite directions. Splint mail of fire resist. Room of curse. Pizza. Nothing that's terribly interesting. Hide behind the corner to encourage the wizards to get into melee range with a far more dangerous Minotaur. Gareth Den. Plenty of enchant stuffs, which is great. In fact, I'm going to pick all that stuff up on my way out. but not, you know, before, so that way there's no risk of getting them burned. Kill the sorcerer, kill all the mini guys who come after him. There's probably going to be things inside these doors too, but let's just kill them. I think I saw the phrase Trog and gift, so I will be happy to check the ground when I'm done. He did in fact give me a gift. It is a vampiric saber. Okay, I actually have to stop and think now. What's a saber do? +4/7 with very low attack delay. If I could get this guy up to max level, I can't. I can possibly make it +5/+5, but a +5/+5 saver is not going to be as good as a min delay almost 0 Bardiche, especially not given that I have no dexterity worth speaking of. So I'm going to go ahead and ignore that for the time being and stick with the anti-magic glaive that I have. And I don't know why I'm still carrying the anti-magic halberd, seeing as to how it's strictly inferior weapon-wise. But that was a tempting offer because vampiric weapons make this game super duper awesome, fun, easy, and are definitely helpful for a speed run since you don't have to stop to heal nearly as much. Pity, but what can you do? Ooh, a ruined demon trident. That might just be a game winner. Let's pick that up first. And Scroll of Teleport, because never go without it. And Magic Mapping, because it can save your life. So all of those are good. It's all good. Let's identify this actually, I don't need to burn identify, do I? It's a vampiric demon trident. That, sir, is what I'm playing with for the rest of the game. I'm going to need to get my shield skill up to make good use of it. But this thing, just so that you guys understand why it's so awesome, 130% delay, +1 and 12, right? Well, take a look at my current weapon, the glaive. -3 and 15. It is almost the same damage-wise, but it's a one-hander. The only problem is, and I just realized this, I can't butcher while holding it, can I? Let's try and wield it and just see what happens. Okay, so I'm holding the vampiric trident. Nope, you cannot butcher while holding the trident. Okay, this is a predicament that Krull has dealt me, no question about it. The best brand in the game, one of the best weapons, but on a weapon I can't use it on with any reliability. What I'm going to do is stick to the magic glaive in general, but hang on to the vampiric trident and try and whip it out in sticky situations. And, yeah, that's what I'm going to have to do. But that's never going to happen because the amount of risk involved in eating a ration in a sticky situation is too high. Lose the Executioner's Asks of Freezing and the Elven Trident of Piercing. They're no longer relevant. No, hang on to a Trident of Piercing in case of Hydras. Just take that on, please. Okay, it's Nessos. Nessos is terrifying. I'm gonna hide. I'm gonna scream for him, but there he is. I really needed somebody else to hit him because I can't catch that motherfucker. Go after him too, why don't you? Okay, I'm losing Teleport and Fear and other scrolls up the yin-yang right now. Mostly because my mind is somewhere else. I'm thinking about the weapon I didn't get to keep and it's bothering me. But anyway, Nessos is dead, so hooray for that. Ding dong, Nessos is dead. Witch, old witch, the evil witch. The Wicked Witch, not Evil Witch. Alright, and that basically cleared out the Orc 4. Should be at around an hour and a half right now. No, I'm only at an hour 11 minutes. Fantastic. There's one up staircase that hasn't been explored, so it's probably going to lead to an undone area, and we'll just do it in. And that reveals the Elven Halls, so now I know where to go to get to those. It's such a shame. I'm really upset about the way it turned out with my vampiric weapon being unusable. I guess one thing I can't accuse Trog of anymore is trolling me for weapons, though, because he has given me a few decent ones. I now have enough enchant weapons that I'm willing to throw a few away at this glaive, even if it doesn't become my actual endgame weapon. Actually, that should about do it, on account of the fact that, yeah, that'll do. I can worry about my to-hit bonuses later. These orcs are really resourceful. They're already wielding Nessos' weapons, and he just died. You know what? Take me back to the dungeon. I don't care how you get me there. Just go. Okay, we're out. Good. Next floor. Next point of interest would be to pick up the vault. Mostly for its experience bonuses, less than its runes, but, you know, while I'm there I'll get the rune, obviously. Have I missed any amulets? Because I'm still wearing an amulet of the Guardian Spirit, which is pretty worthless when you don't have a mana pool to begin with, and coupled with the fact that I'm wearing an anti-magic weapon is beyond useless. I'm also running around in a risky situation where I could potentially be attacked without the ability to berserk, but I have some rapid eat foods available if I need to get back within berserk range. And it paid off because indeed I didn't need to waste it in the end. Wand of Flame, what a waste of a wand. Let's just butcher these guys. And then butcher them, and then burn them, and then move on. Okay, plow our way through there, pick up some gold. I do have a lot of gold at this point, enough that I can afford to waste some if there's something worth wasting it on. Let's wield a trident so as to minimize the likelihood of the Hydra actually killing me. And then just re-wield the glaive. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and take a moment to readjust these letters so that I don't have to look at the menu each time I do this. And I say each because I'm fairly sure there's going to be more times where I need to switch to a trident later on. Where's the kobold? I don't even see him. Okay, how's my... Once this thing hits 16, I'm going to stop training it. Or not necessarily... you know, I might still need some more to get the max delay. Or get it down to min delay. But I would rather put the points elsewhere for the time being. Oh, crap. That thing literally just appeared and was the first of its whole fungal colony. So there was almost no way to predict that would have happened, but it really wasn't that big a damage now that it did. What is that place? Huh? What the fuck is going on? I've already been to the lair. I've cleared the lair. The lair is on floor 9. I'm on floor 12. How the hell is there a door to the lair and then another door to the lair? Well, I think either I've bricked crawl somehow and this is a glitch, or there's a new feature I'm not aware of where you can have multiple entrances to branches, and I'm leaning towards it being a glitch because all 4 of the all 4 of the possible layer branches turned up instead of just 1 or 2, which is how it should have been. Or 3, sorry, which is how it should have been. I'm very tempted to explore this secondary layer now, but I'm not gonna because, frankly, getting past an Ocklol plant is a trial unto itself. Okay, a Bardich. Is a Bardich a superior weapon? A Bardich is the best weapon for me. Base attack delay 200, max damage for a polearm. The problem, of course, is that I'm not yet ready to make use of it because I don't have the delay reduced to minimum for a weapon of that magnitude, so I'm not gonna. I'm still sticking with the I'm just gonna skip a few turns. Tab is plenty for killing these guys since they're gonna kill themselves against my armor and my reaction attack primarily anyway. They're just bats. Not sure where they're so low in the dungeon. If anybody knows exactly what's going on with regards to why there are multiple entrances, or if it's something that is a new feature that I don't know about, please let me know. I'm fascinated by it. I think it's a great idea. I think it makes the game easier. And that's something that I'm definitely a fan of, even though I know that I'm one of the only people who is. Okay, somewhere along the way I got mutated and picked up a slowness mutation. There's a potion of cure mutation available in the Orcish mines. And slowness is probably worth going back for it. Heal wounds. Summon ally of Trog. That was a case of not fighting correctly and being forced to pick up something different as a result. Go a different pathway. Take me to the Orcish mines. Fine. Eat an apricot. Now take me to the cure mutation. Jesus. I don't actually know why I didn't stop to heal when I had the chance. That was kind of stupid of me. Let's go ahead and heal and berserk now. I have to do both because one alone isn't going to give me the kind of health I need. And now let's just heal up properly. That's good. And now go to the Orcish mines. And now go to the Orcish mines. Stop telling me I'm getting hungry. It's a very expensive potion. It just wiped out my bank account, but I'd really rather not suffer from slowness. Just get me to the dungeon again. Yes, please. Get me to the dungeon again. Yes, please. Okay. Eat meat, and then head down to the bottom of whatever. Just go as far as you can. Wish I had Amulet of the Gourmand. Be nice. Or a useful amulet of some kind. Because, yeah, I don't really consider this resist corrosion terribly useful. I'm gonna wear it, actually. It's more useful than the Guardian Spirit, which is giving me 1 hit point extra per fight. Resist corrosion is likely to help me when I forget that I need to put it on. Like right there, I actually completely forgot that that brown ugly thing probably represented a good time to put it on. Of course, I get put on fire. Of course I do. And of course it burns my good scrolls. At this point, I don't even care that much about... No, don't burn a scroll of enchant armor. Put it down for later. Do I have an extra enchant armor somewhere? I do? Okay, you know what? Fuck it. Burn them. Burn them away. I don't care. I'd rather have a lower AC when dealing with the final and, final things than die because I wasn't, because I was being a miser. And ultimately, given the way things have been going, I'm very likely to just suffer having it burned or lost somehow. I'll come across more enchant armor scrolls. You almost always do, especially if you actually attempt any end branches or clear anything out. Blink scroll, no question. Always want to get an extra. Do I have an identify scroll? No. Is there one in that shop? Yes. Pick one up, use it on the latest ring. Protection from magic. Not really that important. It's not even clear whether or not it's arguable to me whether or not it's even better than protection from cold. Alright, I'm clearly fading right now and not as awake and energetic as I was earlier. So this is probably as good a time as any to stop the run. Ruined halberd. It's a lesser anti-magic halberd than my already used. Damn it, I just picked the wrong weapon 3 times. That's the one I want. Eat him. Read and identify. Thing. Amulet of Stasis. Generally speaking, is one of the biggest death trap amulets to ever be wearing. Okay, that's about enough for now, I think. Yeah, we'll call it the quits here. But yeah, thus far my time is 1 hour, 23 minutes, 54 seconds. About 30,000 turns, which is roughly 3/8 of how many turns, or 3/10 of how many turns a full game would take, or 3/8, depending how aggressive you are about it and how many runes you're aiming for. I've hit level 14. It's definitely a good springboard into the game. I'm quite satisfied with the speed of this run right now. I'm gonna go ahead and save right now, and then I would like to show something else. So let's go ahead and pull up Stone Soup, Morgue, and try and pick something at random out of my Morgue file. View by details, scroll down, Sub-Zero Mew, level 10, Crystal Chat. I'm trying to figure out what level. I mean, it's impossible to tell, for me at least, how they did just by the name here, but... Actually, there might be a smarter way to go about this. Let's try doing the smarter way. Let's pull up the high score list and take a look at what the bottom of the high score list is. Okay, we'll have to do this the old-fashioned way. Okay. Okay, level 15 character named Quickwin, or better yet, MDBE, Dwarven Berserker, so same class, same style, same level, experience-wise, and roughly the same area of the game that I got to. If anything, he's not even quite as far yet. His name is Minotaur. Let's find him in the morgue and see how long it took him to get there. 1,000 folders, Minotaur, search. There were a couple Minotaurs. This one is obviously not the correct one. This is the guy. And it took 2 hours, 11 minutes to get that far. In his case, he was on level 4 of the Orcish Mines. How far had he gone in the lair? Like, where would I look for that? There's got to be a place where it explains. Here we go. He had completed the lair, so same. Not enter the swamp, slime, or snake, same. Hive existed in that version, so he had gone through the hive, and he was on D15, so that's about the same, I think. And clear the orcish mine. So this is, in fact, a mountain dwarf in the same place as my Minotaur is. Actually, out of curiosity, how are his skills doing? 19 in axes, 13 in armor. Apparently I went with shields, which must have been a moron. Don't know why I cared about evocations. 13 in fighting, okay. Well, whatever, so he was a little bit more split in his skills. 26,000 turns. Or sorry, 34,000 turns. 2 hours, 11 minutes. So this run is 45 minutes faster, roughly, than an equivalent run that I did in Dungeon Crawl in the past. That's a huge time savings. That's already the time savings that I'm aiming for, right? Is an hour faster or 2 hours faster than my typical Zot run. So, definitely satisfied with the way this has gone so far. Thanks for watching. I will catch you guys next time.